Hi guys, it's Chris here from Rafa, and here's my contest entry into Randomopolist's week-long game challenge. So I've not had much time to work on this. Literally, I've had a couple of days, so it's very similar to something like Uno. So I'm gonna just make a quick video about it now. As you can see on the right, we've got a starting point where we've just put a counter, and that's going to be like the starting life for both players. And the aim of the game is to get that counter up to the orange square, orange circle should I say, and when that happens that player loses the game. So in the bottom left corner you've got a die which will represent what turn we're on. So obviously the game starts off on turn 1, and then you place all of the cards into the middle where it says deck. Then each player will draw 2 cards off the top of the deck and class that as their hand. Now you don't show the cards to your opponent, and then you just got to choose who goes first by like flipping a coin or whatever. Now the die will only go up by 1 after both players have had a turn, so it'll go turn 1, player 1, then player 2, and then it'll go to turn 2. And then we need 2 base cards on screen where it says player 1 and player 2, so we take the top 2 cards off the deck and just place 1 in the player 1 slot and then 1 in the player 2 slot, and that will give us our starting point for the game. So when it comes to playing a card, basically what you've got to do is play a card from your hand which matches either the shape or the colour of the shape, and then if it matches both then that's even better. You should always have 2 cards in your hand at all times, so once you've played a card you would just draw another card. And then say for example you've got 3 boxes underneath the icon, underneath the shape. It'll have like, if you just match the shape, do something. If you just match the colour, you do something else. And then if you match both the colour and the shape, you would do what happens in the 3rd box. Now most of the time you will either be gaining life or drawing cards. So the gaining life is the easy part. And basically what you want to do is if you gain 2 life, you will move the counter 2 spaces up towards your opponent's orange square, and then obviously if that counter reaches the red circle, then that player loses the game. Now if you draw cards, it doesn't mean draw cards into your hand. To draw cards you would basically say it tells you to draw 2 cards, you would put the top 2 cards of the deck onto the slots to the left or the right of the deck. And the aim behind that is basically for you to try and work out what would work best for you. So say you've got like a red diamond in your hand, and then you draw, and your first one is, that could be a red diamond as well, then that would help you later on in the game. So then you would basically draw off the deck and then like discard them as such into the piles on the left and right of the deck. One more thing as well is that the big number on the card tells you what turn you have to be on or past to play that card. So if a card in your hand has got the big number 3, then that means you have to wait for the die to turn over to number 3 before you can play it. And you can only play 1 per turn, 1 card per turn, and then you pass it over to your opponent. Your opponent will have their turn, and then when it comes back to you, the die will go up, or will increment by 1 number. The die can't go above the number 6, it caps at 6 because that's where the most powerful cards are. So overall the game's going to be pretty quick. One other thing just to very quickly mention is if you play a card in your opponent's slot, it's perfectly doable, but you can't win the game when you do. So say you will gain 5 life, and that would put your counter, or put the counter in the red circle on your opponent's side. It will wait at the space just right next to the red circle. So basically to win the game you have to either play a card in your slot or get a win condition on the card what you're playing, which are usually the number 6s. So that's the game really guys. Like I said, it's a very quick one. I've not really had much time to put in, because I've got like a lot of work to do in my personal life. And obviously this isn't a trading card game, it's just a card game. Something which is supposed to be very quickly played and you know, it's not got all the complexity of a TCG. So that's it really, guys. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much.